What it do? What it do? Ladies and gentlemen, 420.
Great day.
April 20th, 2024. Sitting here with Mr. Boss Locks himself. Boss Locks Media, that is.
Mm.
What it do, brother? How you living?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. I feel like I think last time I was here kind of solo was just kind of sharing how like did not start with everything that when I thought I was going to. I was like ready for January to go off strong, but it was like, oof, March I was still waiting to hit publish. And now I'm finally published. So it's like a whole weight been lifted off my chest. All these people who've been holding me accountable. I'm like, I did it, y'all. I did it. So
You
yeah, I'm
know what I'm
feeling
saying?
good
You,
this
you,
week.
you went ahead and press play. Press play, press
Yeah.
record. I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that. Listen, man, you told me this morning you had some things on your mind. So we want to get into it, but nothing like somebody coming into the backstage like 2 minutes late after we already live. So I'm gonna put him out here on Front Street, but we're gonna bring him into. We're gonna bring him into God dog. And then we'll get into some official introductions. Lloyd, not George.
Mr. UGC.
Talk to us, brother. How you doing?
Brother,
Huh?
how's it going?
There we go. I know. Get the mic right
You
now.
know,
Get the mic right.
Oh,
if I was here early, this would have been all sorted out. So I appreciate the patience.
You can definitely tell we all part of the family because you just show up. You just get there when you get there, kind of thing, huh? Get there when you get there.
You know what's crazy? I was actually looking forward to this the most. Like this was like going to be the highlight of my Saturday, but I woke up so early because now I'm on Eastern time. So I was like, man, this is kind of taking forever. It's like 5 more hours before we do this live. So I was like, yo, I'm gonna go take a nap and then I'll just come back when it's time. And then literally, if it wasn't for Walt calling me, I would be dreaming about this and not here to experience it.
Man, I'm gonna cut that up. That's gonna be some good content. And we got Mr. UGC himself saying it, so I'm gonna chop that up because that's right. You now East Coast instead of on the left coast now. That's a little transition. Just getting all those things. Remember, welcome home. Welcome to the Technologist Forum. This is where we get down. This is where we get down. Uh, Listen, we got folks chiming in the comments. I want to acknowledge them. What's up to you, Dan? What's up to you, Victor? We got folks that we are live streaming on multiple platforms. I want to open it up to you guys because I can always talk. I was going to, like Victor was talking about NAB there, I wanted to recap that a little bit because a lot of us
Yep.
coming back off of that Vegas adventure encounter are trying to sober up and trying to get back into the game. But you were here on time, so I'm gonna start with you. What's on your mind, brother? What's going on with you this week?
oh
I'm
man.
gonna keep messing
Me-
with you, Lloyd, for a couple more minutes. Then I'll leave it alone. Right? I'm not gonna pick at this cab too long.
Hey, last time was my time with my internet going crazy. But yeah, so this week, week 2 of like being a published podcaster, with my
Man,
own
that sounds
content
good.
out kind of independently. It feels good. It feels good to say too. So yeah, that's been on most of my mind. Like I woke up kind of coming with the content idea to try to put out there and everything. So Working While Black show, career mixtape for career growth and entrepreneurship. And so far it's being received very well. So I'm very excited about all of that. But what's been on my mind lately is AI stuff, man. It's going to another level from the rap beefs that are going on, not knowing whether or not it's legitimate, to some of my like I don't even watch reality TV shows, but the one show I do watch, The Circle, there's a whole AI element to it. Spoiler alert, it is what it is. But yeah, then my own kind of experiences kind of getting duped, tricked by AI. So yeah, this AI has been messing with me
All right,
all
so
week in
let's talk
so
about
many
that because
different ways.
you talking about the circle based off of AI. Tell the folks who may not know what it is. I got some links up here, folks. I put them in the description as well. But what is the circle and what is that all about? Why is that
Yeah.
got you
So
concerned?
so The Circle is a show. I think it came out during the pandemic, but essentially it's a reality competition show up on Netflix where they have like like a people from all over the world coming in to compete to see who's going to end up winning, and whoever wins gets a whole bunch of money. And it's kind of like this social influencer type of game where you actually can't interact with each other at all. You don't see each other. All you do is speak to people through an app. It's all text-based communication, right? So this is a 6th season. It's been going on. We've seen all sorts of people. We've seen catfishes. We've seen duos coming together as one, past competitors coming in with their spouses. It's got me hooked. We when the circle comes out, we rush to finish it. Like, oh, we got to get caught up before the spoilers come out. And this season, the producers, they decided to switch it up. Instead of, it's starting off with 7 or 8 people, they said one of the contestants is going to be AI. So there's an AI bot
Wow.
literally communicating and winning people over. People are like, oh yeah, that's definitely human. Oh, what a genuine. I love this guy. They like loving it. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. This is wild.
Wow.
Like, AI is becoming so advanced that we can't always tell whether it's real or not.
So
That's facts.
that's great. So I got all kind of, way my mind breaks. Works. I start thinking, okay, so now we're taking jobs and opportunities from individuals, because now Lloyd can program a prompt to do something and have it generate a co-star on this show. But does that also give someone like a Lloyd, I'm picking on you again now, but raising your skill level, raising your awareness of this technology, so you have to now uptrain yourself to be able to know how to use a Perplexity or a Chat GPT or a Gemini. Well, you're not going to use Gemini because they still broke. They still trying to get their stuff right. But how does this affect from a occupation perspective? And then let's talk about it just from the entertainment side. I mean, are you said you're hooked on it, so this is your show. This is your latest thing. Are you watched it because it's got a technology-centric focus, or because it's got an AI-generated character? What's the thing that draws you to it? Why should the audience be concerned or want to put this on their list?
I was hooked like 6 seasons ago, so I've been watching since the beginning before AI was even a thing. Yeah. Shout out to all my other circle members out there. I know you're there. Twitter goes crazy when the new episode comes out, but
They exist.
yeah, they exist. I swear. But no, it's got me hooked just because I just ended up loving it. But this one is just interesting on another level, just because of like where we are right now, reality. Like earlier this week, I shared on social about like when I was messaging someone on TikTok, and I thought that I received a message from someone, so I double tapped to like it. And then they just turned it around as if it was my own response. So what I realized is that TikTok was suggesting some comments, some replies that I could make to a video that he shared. And I was like, oh no, this is what got me interested, and why I think everyone should pay attention to this, regardless if you like the show, is because what we're seeing on the circle right now, season 6, is AI mimicking a human real time, responding to messages real time, putting it out there and being very creative with it as well, to the point that people are accusing other actual humans of being AI and not this actual robotic box that looks like the latest Xbox. So I think everyone should watch and realize that this AI future is more of a reality right now than like 5 years in advance, like I thought it would be earlier this year. So
you thought we had a little more time, right? And
I thought we had more time. I knew it was coming. I just thought I had another year or two.
It's here, right? You catching up, and Lloyd over here making all this UGC content, man, using AI. Talk to us about your thoughts on this, man, because you're deeper in the everyday, and I don't want to assume, but third person looking in, Lloyd. I say that because, again, you kind of got your hands on a lot of these companies that are generating these platforms and things like that. What are you seeing from your side as you work with brands and businesses utilizing AI?
Yeah, for sure. I think I have this week, similar to Walter's point, was the first week where I realized, like, oh, snap, there's a lot of concerns or things we should be concerned about. I think all of the brands I work with aren't that concerning to me, because it's more so like the reduction of manual labor. So it's nothing like complex. It's like, hey, it's going to take you an hour to chop 10 clips. We'll do it for you in 5 minutes. No real concern there. Where I do start to get concerned is, I think there's 2 things that come to mind, similar to what Walter said. I think that there's going to be a scenario where we can't properly tell, is this AI or is this not AI? Forget the ramifications that come once we know it is AI, like, oh, then we really don't need these 100 employees. Now we need to worry about that. Before we even get there, I think the AI is advancing so much more faster than the social media platforms. So there's no way for the social media platforms to be able to auto tag content and say, oh, no, this really isn't the Kendrick Lamar verse. This is just AI. And so I think if that continues, we've only seen it happen this week with like music, but if that's happening where it's like you think your president is saying something, or you think your city council is saying something,
Yeah, deep
or
fakes and things of that
it's
nature. Okay.
I think it could get pretty wild, and I worry about like the modification. Not the modification, but moderating something like that is probably like my number one concern. And then I think if anything, I think personally, this is my controversial take. I'm not quite sure if I like this yet, but theoretically speaking, you could create fake AI profiles. Like you could create like an AI human that looks just like me, add some of my content, and then I could just stay with my voice, my face, scan all sides, and legit feed it a script, and it would like obviously create content just like it would be me. From what I can tell, it does look about like 5 to 10% off. But if you didn't know that I was using AI and I just posted a UGC video of me, I mean, it would look pretty. My mom probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference, to be honest with you.
Well, especially
So
if you
then,
just use your head from top to all and didn't show anything, man.
Yeah, and so then it just has me thinking like, I used to be the kind of person that thinks, man, this isn't bad, we shouldn't do it. Now and then my second thought would be like, man, if we don't do it, we're going to be very upset in 5 years that there are, and I hate to make this like racial, but we're going to be very upset that there are white people that own Black UGC avatars, as an example, which is what we complain about right now with like, there's like AI Black influencers that make millions of dollars, but they're owned by white people. And we hate that. We don't like that. And so these are the moments where we should be saying like, hey, we're not going to say this is whack. And we're just going to say, how do we at least own the space in terms of Black UGC AI creators, so to speak. Sorry, too deep of a rabbit.
No, hold on.
Glad it was the Malcolm X shirt today.
Yeah, right. I mean, y'all
that's like Good Times reboot stuff.
Yeah, I didn't know we was gonna get into it. You almost had me thinking about, we got to own the beauty salon, right? How come we don't own? Okay, we're not gonna talk. So, I guess let me ask you this, Lloyd, because that was an interesting perspective. What do we as creators need to do? Because a lot of the audiences that watch this show are digital creators, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, things of that nature. We already know that if we create something on YouTube and publish it, there's a tick mark, right, that says, is this altered content? Did you utilize AI in any way to generate this? So we have to publicly acknowledge that. How do we, at this early stage, get in front of that? How do we as creators own that, take advantage of it, utilize it, not let it get away from us? And especially you talking about we as Black creators, right? How do we win? How do we win?
Yeah, I think from my perspective, there's two ways. I think there are a lot of platforms. LinkedIn is a good example of this, where they don't have any tools that can auto tell if something's AI. So there's platforms like that where, unlike YouTube, where I could just toggle that like, hey, I did use AI to make this video. Great. Let's keep this environment clean so we can all continue. Let me just take one more step back and say one last thing. I think as creators, we make money creating videos. Like that's what we do. So it's in our best interest to keep this ecosystem healthy, safe, working. And so we should be looking at YouTube and saying, dang, thanks for doing that. That's amazing. Like I'm going to participate in like toggling that this was made by AI. And when platforms can't do that, like LinkedIn or Instagram, I'm going to manually just put in the captions that like this video was modified by AI as an example. That's just like level one. And then level two, there are now tools. One of them is called like Hey Gen as an example. I just put it in the chat. I would start learning as much as I can about these platforms, because I guarantee you, I know this deep in my heart, you will be using AI with video content in some capacity. Like you will be creating an avatar, making videos for you in some capacity at some point. The big version of this would be if you decided, like someone like me that's a UGC creator, I'm going to duplicate myself and now have like UGC content being created for the brands that can't afford me, as an example. That's like one example. If you feel like that's too controversial. A lower tier version of that might be when someone lands on your website, the bot that greets them is going to be an AI version of you. That's like a simpler way that you're going to be using AI. But in 5 to 10 years, everyone's going to be doing it. It's not going to be as like cringe as it is now. So my only recommendation is to just get ahead of that and just start learning about it, even if you don't create anything right now.
I'm just letting that marinate right quick. You see, I'm just letting that marinate right quick. So Walt, let's ask you, right? Where do you feel? Because again, Lloyd's kind of on it from a different perspective. I almost doubt that you can actually fully take advantage of AI in your world, right? Because you're literally having those one-on-one conversations more from a podcast, right? Lloyd and I are more on the video side. So
yeah. And James, you mind if I just throw a question at Walt really quick? Well, if you were watching The Circle, forget The Circle, any show, if you're watching any show and it was the best show you ever watched, like every episode, you're like, yo, this was better than last season. This is amazing. And then you got to the end of that show and you realized they used 75%. 75% of it was created by AI, or maybe they were AI characters, or maybe the story plots weren't even real. Would you be upset about that? Or would you still feel like it doesn't matter because it still engaged me, it still entertained me, it's the same thing?
I would be like, yo, that's crazy. Let me go donate to someone's Cash App. And then also let me see when season 2 is coming out. Cause entertainment's entertainment. And that's another thing as well. That's like kind of just like kind of sits with me weird. Is cause like if it's like entertaining, then it's doing its job. But then we also think about like, oh, okay, so we're just going to get rid of all of the actors who they've trained the AI on to be able to kind of replicate this performance, and it just kind of sucks. So it's a lot of question marks as far as like the entertainment world. And then at the same time, I'm also looking at it as like, okay, once again, technology is becoming more accessible so that the regular person doesn't have to kind of wait for an opportunity if they have the one time, because time is a big factor in this. And I think still right now, money is a big factor as well. It would show me like, okay, maybe I could create something like this. Like I think during the pandemic when all the like the Breakfast Club and everyone is using StreamYard or whatever they're using for their interviews, I was like, okay, this is the first time where everyone's stuff looks the same from a content perspective. And I want to shout out this one lady, goes by Professor Kez on Instagram, because I've seen her videos pop up twice on my feed where she's showing how you could create your own animated series and characters using some AI. She teaches classes and stuff. Never taken her course or spoken to her, but I'm following her now just because like her videos are good. They're always like culture on point and stuff. And the last video I saw, she was talking about the Good Times reboot, which is, all animated and everything. I still have mixed feelings on it. Haven't watched it, but I believe it's something I didn't know is that the original Good Times had a lot of white people in the writing room and a lot of decision makers, but that was that time, of course. And so it just makes you think like, wow, back to Lloyd's point earlier, Black content owned and created by white people doesn't really sit right with me. So I do think this is one like an awareness moment, like, yo, it's already here. But it's also like, okay, let's learn as much as we can so we could try to, take advantage of it and create something ourselves. So yeah, I'm trying to see what type of AI characters I could create right now.
Let me ask the question of how do we do? Okay, I want to ask the easy questions, and hopefully they're hard answers. You talk about we should take advantage of this, we should go learn. How are you going about actually learning about this technology? Is it just follow? And I've got Professor Kez's IG account up here. It looks pretty dope, right? I mean, everything, the branding is on point. But is it just following and watching these other subject matter experts? Are you taking a LinkedIn learning course? Are you going to conferences and events? What is the action that you're actually doing to level yourself up so you don't get left behind?
Yeah, I think for me, I think it could be like the AI space can be so overwhelming. And so for me, I try and like hyper focus. So instead of going like wide and saying, let me learn about all of the AI tools that exist, just pick one or two and say, I'm only going to focus on these for the
I
next
like
6 months,
that.
like
Yeah.
only. And so for me, those two tools right now are HeyGen, which is the thing I put in the chat. And then the second tool is Opus Clip. And so I'm only focusing on those two. And Audio Enhance, which like, it like measures your voice levels, but it's really not AI.
Oh, Adobe's.
Adobe's, yeah. And so I'm just like, I think hyper focusing on a few and becoming really good at like one or two is far better than like just knowing about 10, you know?
That's probably so much better for your mental well-being as well.
Yeah.
Right, because this is such a fast moving, and I just got back from Vegas. I just got back from NAB, and everyone who is in the industry was there, right? And speaking of, before I forget, because I'm an old man and I forget these things, I talked with Neil from Headliner yesterday, and I understand that you guys are connecting. So add them to your short list. He showed me something. Listen, Lloyd, let me tell you something. Okay, I got squirrel moment. He showed me something yesterday that Headliner is working on. It's not NDA, so I can talk around it. And I said, no. I said, Neil, no, I don't want to talk about it. I want Lloyd George to talk about this because this is in his wheelhouse. What they are doing, y'all better check out headliner.app. They got some things going on within their platform that seamlessly integrate tools within the digital creators workflow. I'm speaking at 40,000 foot level right now, and just this stuff that he's going to show you, and we can talk about it when we get offline. But I said, no, I don't want to talk about it. I want Lloyd to do this right here because you got a little different flair. I like the way that you present. And that's why I put you two together. So I wanted to give you those flowers. Make sure you get in contact with Neil. He's waiting on you to have a conversation.
I really, really appreciate that, man. Yeah. And I feel like you're one of those people that's so well connected that I thought I was connected, but you're on a different level. But I wanted to ask you about NAB and how it went, and just sort of like, do you feel like was it more heavy on? I know there were a lot of like big releases there, but what were your sort of like one or two that you felt like, oh, this shocked me or this caught me off guard?
What caught me off guard was the collaboration that B&H did. B&H had a darn near city block within one of the convention centers, and I'm being facetious, and overblowing it, but they had all these different other brands and manufacturers in their whole setup. And you can go to one end and you can get a different type of an experience, right? You can go see a little bit of the Black Magic because Black Magic had a whole bunch of other large environments. You can go see a little bit of the Road because they had their stuff. You can go see Sigma. You can go see, right, just within the whole B&H environment, they had what they had there. It was really cool also to see Adobe. Listen, y'all know Adobe's the truth. But when I met the dude who wrote Frame.io, because he was there presenting and giving demonstrations of what was coming out, again, that those are the kind of things that really bring it home and make it real. So what Adobe did, what B&H did, I really was impressed with Small Rig. Small Rig is the truth, man. Small Rig's got some things
the tripod that he was like hanging on.
Yeah, was it Potato Joe or something? Joe, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So they did a lot of collaborations with creators, right? From photographers and videographers, and they're not just lights and they're not just cages for your camera. What Small Rig is doing is the truth. So definitely want to check them out. I got a bigger respect for Godox. So Godox are the ones who I use for my main lights here in the studio, these TL60s. But they've got a wide selection of in studio, on location, just the gear that was brought out. All the companies knew that everyone that was going to be there. So it was just real impressed. And I've been there multiple times, but it was good to roll with the crew as well, catch up with some folks that, I either follow online as well and then kind of watch their journeys. Why weren't you two there? Let me ask you that. Why weren't you two in Vegas?
Well, you first.
Yeah, I was like, oh, because you and Tallboy been talking about it for a minute. And I was like, that looks cool. And then my bank account said, nah, he chilled. Maybe next year. maybe next year. And
All right.
then
Well, I
also
got
we
it on the
got,
screen right now. You see April 9th, April 5th to the 9th next year.
we'll see. I know we also have like a lot of launches coming up. So it's been a busy week just all across the board. So but yeah, 2025 is when I'm stepping
We
outside.
live stream remote. We got all these tools. We can do the thing
Right.
remote.
You're right. Let
There
me
is
let me
no
talk to
excuse.
Ecamm next year.
There is no excuse. I get you in the building. You get there. I'm gonna put this out here out here in the existence. I'll get you in the building. You get there. I'll even cover a couple of meals. Well, we're gonna talk about this. I really want to have more of a squad there,
Yeah.
so we can go hit different things because it's too much to consume.
Yeah.
And there's too much to actually see, right? I mean, if you're trying to go to the conferences, if you're trying to go to some of the sessions, if you're trying to go look at all of the booths that you are fans of, I worked the Opus Clip booth for a little bit, so a lot of us brand partners were there. They were asking about Lloyd, but he wasn't there. But needless to say, again, I'm gonna start picking on you. But it's definitely one of those events that you go there with a team, with a mission, and you go out there and get all the content and you absorb everything. And the fact is, it's not like CES, because CES is a lot of the stuff that's still maybe on the chopping block. This is all stuff that actually has been launched. They showed the new Blackmagic 6K.
Oh,
6K or 8K?
Ooh,
The 6K. Well,
might be 8.
right, but I think it was the 8K. But they sold the new Blackmagic 8K camera. Again, met Frame.io, met Avid, met a lot of these companies. So I'm trying to hype it up. Y'all make sure y'all in Vegas. We'll get an Airbnb.
Are you going? You're going to CES though in January,
Always,
right?
Always,
Okay.
man.
I'll be there for the first time in January, so we're gonna make it. I do think it's better. I agree with you. It is better when you're with all your friends and stuff, and it's just more fun, honestly.
Yeah. Victor's
All right,
talking
Lloyd will
about
rep
Stellar
CES.
there.
I'll be there for NAB.
Well, Victor, I don't know who Stellar is. Was Stellar there? I'm waiting on that mobile intern. I'm not sure who that is.
Stella Artis.
Stella Artois.
Artois.
I had a few of those drinks, but no, I'm not sure.
Oh, and James, you were I don't know if you were hosting a party, going to a party, affiliated with a party, or something. How did that go? That was on Monday night, I think.
I'm out here in these streets, brother. I was hosting a happy hour at the Renaissance Hotel next to the conference center, and it was mainly for insiders in the media and entertainment industry, right? So had a lot of large organizations there looking to take advantage of using cloud computing, looking to utilize hyperconverged infrastructure, right? For all of these large files, we all stream in 4K, and these files can be incredibly enormous. They can be pricey and expensive to have them located in one particular location versus in the cloud or something like that. And how do you collaborate with teams when you've got these large files? So had an event, invited a lot of those folks, and try to talk about utilizing enterprise technology to share that content and that data. So it wasn't necessarily on the content side; it was more on the enterprise IT side. Having that happy hour. I got to talk in circles so I don't make sure I don't get in trouble with nobody. So.
Yeah, well, that's how you know you're important. When you got multiple NDAs and things going on, and you can't just really talk.
Let me get off camera, man.
You're important.
We need a Duolingo to add a whole new language learning there. How to walk around.
We're gonna multi-translate this session right here.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do an AI of me, right, in Japanese.
I want to throw out something that's sizzling hot. Sizzling hot. I don't even know if you want to talk about. If you don't want to talk about it, we skip over it. Breeze like I never said nothing. You
on the big screen now. Go ahead, brother.
So I don't know if you guys heard about this. Have been following this whole Marques Brownlee thing. I'll give a little context for the people in the audience that may not know. But Marques Brownlee is probably one of the largest tech reviewers. He's probably the largest tech reviewer. But he reviews these different products and he simplifies them, explains them in really engaging ways on YouTube. a few weeks back, he reviewed a car. It's an electric car called the Fisker. And it was one of the most honest and like transparent reviews, with him just saying this car is not as good or as hyped up as it seems to be. And the stock price of the car, just off of his review, took a huge dive. So that was like a few weeks ago. And then last week, he reviewed this like AI chip pin that goes on your chest, which, for context, this company had raised $240 million from lots of really big investors. And a lot of the execs on the team worked at Apple. It's a beautifully designed tool. But he basically said it was like the worst product he had ever seen in his life, ever reviewed in his life. And the company is apparently about to go bankrupt now. I don't know how like literal that is, as much as it just means that like, yo, they took a very, very big hit. And so there's been a big debate in the tech space about how much power tech reviewers have. Should he be wielding his power and authority a little more safely, knowing that just off of him making a review, hundreds of people could lose their jobs? That's what one part of the internet is saying. The other part is saying, if the product sucks, the product sucks. That's really not on him, and we need him to be more honest regardless of the ramifications. That's like layer one. Layer two is, are we even going to talk about the fact that this is like a black tech reviewer, just like moving in excellence? Like, if there's anyone that this is going to happen to, like, he reviews things so thoroughly. I mean, fact checkers on staff, people are testing this stuff for weeks before he even makes a video about it. So it's like, this is not the kind of person you're going to find that like, oh, you got a backdoor payment to be quiet, or you're not going to fully review it. So it's just like excellence around the board. We're not even going to get into that. Let's just talk about how you guys feel about this.
All right, I'm gonna start, and then I'll let you go. Well, so actually, I had Walter Jeanette on Code and Commentary Thursday, and this was one of the lead conversations that we talked about. Understanding volume control is how I positioned it, because look, Marques has been around doing it forever. He is one of the pioneers. He is someone that a lot of folks we look at and say, this is how we want to do it. We want to have the gear that he's got. We want to have the thoroughness and the team. He does it right. And it is interesting to see how this one guy, 30-some years old, is moving this needle. And when he speaks, he's like, I'm going to date myself, when he's like E.F. Hutton, right? When E.F. Hutton speaks, when Marques Brownlee speaks, people going to listen. And one, for it to be a black creator who can move this needle and have this conversation. I think it's a two-pronged situation, though. I think Rabbit is actually having a resurgence in attention because they're getting marketing that they didn't pay for. I think folks are looking at them questioning and wondering, really, is this a decent product? Do I want to wear this thing on my shirt that I can talk to and it'll project? It's Google Glass. It's an accessory that you put on your body, kind of thing. Yeah. So I think they're getting, it's a pro and con for them. The fact that there's probably more con, though, because again, people hear Marques and people listen to Marques and probably are not going to buy this thing anymore because now they got to do some damage control. That can be concerning as well for the folks that are involved in it. I think this is an interesting time because, again, from a volume control perspective, every time we go live, every time we make a tweet, every time we do a blog post, somebody's listening.
Yep.
Right. The context of a message that you put out there in 144 characters or however much, someone's going to grab on that, and that could start moving the needle left or right. And so there's the responsibility, I would say, that we should be aware of, that we have as content creators when we turn these lights on and we speak, that someone is listening and we could affect livelihoods for the pro or for the con.
Yep.
Well, what you got, man?
So 2 thoughts. One, I'm always for the people. So just, I think a higher level of appreciation for the review he did, because I know that he knows what his impact is and the type of influence he has. And like, yo, what a moment for just one person be able to like affect someone's stock price like that. 2, I guess 3 thoughts. 2, like, your product sucks. Go back in the lab, make something better. I think for something that's kind of innovative like this, I would expect it to be kind of trash or not work properly right off the bat. So I think it kind of is what it is. It's not like a bad thing. And then lastly, This company has like the right marketing team, this isn't a bad thing at all. Like, I think this product wouldn't have been widely adopted by a bunch of users anyways. Like, we're still at the beginnings of people seeing or people having like the Apple Vision Pro or the Meta Quest, and all that stuff is not widely adopted. So all this stuff is very new. So it's not a bad time to fail in public like that. And with the right marketing team, you could turn this content around. You could probably hire him to help with the version 2, the next phase of the rollout, since he obviously can, make or break you like that
Yeah.
so easily. So
Yeah. What's cool,
not a
to be
bad.
honest with you, what's cool about this, because I saw Marques, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, but Marques isn't backing down from this.
That's the thing about him too. He never backed.
He is,
Like,
yeah,
well,
he is
with
not
Car,
backing down. He's on
their
to the
CEO
next.
was calling to him. They were trying to, like, they were like, yo, can we please just talk? If there is anyone that I would have felt confident just saying like, yeah, you're not going to bribe him, or you're not going to like get him to like back down, it's him.
Yeah.
But sorry, James, I didn't
No,
mean
because and back to the cars. So he's not backing down from it. He's does all the research, so he's got the receipts. He can back up his claims and things of that nature. But now he's on to the next thing. He's talking about the Cybertruck, right? And the fact that Tesla has recalled every single Cybertruck because of the sticking gas accelerator pedal, right? So he's on to the next thing, and now he's putting them on blast. I would probably take a screenshot of his subscriber numbers just like now, and see the hockey stick in terms of how it's going to grow, in terms of folks that are now, because now there's a bit of controversy around it, right? Everyone for a while, Marques was safe, was cool, right? He's a frisbee, what was it? Competitive frisbee players. He's got that. He's got all the cars. He's got all this, and he wasn't really controversial.
What do you think switched? Was it? Do you think you like saw the Cat Williams interview and it's like, nah, we living in truth this year, or like what happened?
Yo, that is hilarious.
I actually think I'm gonna give him some flowers. I'm gonna give him some credit. I think it's just his expectation of excellence is so high, and he knows that he can move the needle. And if you're going to buy this piece of gear, mount it to your shirt, and it doesn't live up to that expectation, he's going to call him out on it. So I think he's got that clout, he's got that cachet to where he can actually say, your baby is ugly, I'm sorry. And he's down to take that heat. He's down to take that smoke. So I don't know. What do you guys think in the comments as well? We see you listening and watching all that kind of stuff. But I'm glad you brought that out. That's a good one.
But James, you know what's funny though? I feel like there were lots of times in the past where he reviewed products and we're like, nah, probably not worth this amount of money. I've always viewed Marques as like someone that's like diplomatic and non-confrontational. Like even the way he would do the bad product reviews to me felt like, oh, he's like, he cares. Like he wants to try and like sandwich positive and negative. This year, it's felt like I'm going to tell you that this is the worst possible product I've ever seen. And so I do think, like, to Wall's point, there's just been a lot of memes about like, since that Cat Williams interview, a lot of people have just been on a different energy. So that wouldn't shock me if he's also just seeing that like, hey, this content is received so much differently if it's like exposing something or negative. And not to say like he's clout chasing, because I think it's still like authentic and transparent. But I do think there's some intentionality between like, I don't think it's a coincidence that you go from like years of positive reviews to 3 straight reviews saying this is the worst product, or these are bad products. And I'm not even mad at it. I think that could be actually a great niche where it's just like, yo, here are all the products you should not buy.
On it first. Listen, I didn't have notifications turned on. I was just subscribed. I got notifications turned on for Marques.
About to subscribe now.
Yeah. You have, come on, man. You got to support the family, man. You got to support.
I got I've never really watched like I think in the 2010s I'd watch phone reviews, but I haven't really since watched tech reviews like that. So this like I'm kind of seeing into y'all's world now. I guess now with all this AI stuff, I better subscribe to a few channels. I'm already subscribed to the Tech Forum and Lloyd George Creator Hub. So you
better. You better.
He'll be the other big 3.
Yeah, exactly. We're not gonna get no beef though, but if we did, that would be entertaining.
We're not gonna try not to. We're not gonna try to ruffle any feathers. Dan is over here talking about he sees you using that Elgato microphone. Okay, let me ask you about Elgato. They just okay.
I did see it. The Neo.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man. I don't want to get in trouble either because I got some Elgato things going on, but everything for everything. I guess everything has its purpose. It just seems.
Wait. What's give me before you say the justification? Just give me like the gut reaction.
And what it is.
Y'all know what it is.
And I'm
Y'all
dropping
know
it
about the new products that Elgato came
in
out.
the
Okay,
note.
I'm like, Elgato has released a line of products called Neo, and they are. It's a lateral move. And again, here we are. I'm being bougie. Look, I'm a Cam Link 4K guy. I'm a Face Cam
Yeah.
Pro 4K. I'm a Stream Deck Plus and Stream Deck XL. These products are very much of a lateral movement, I think. Right. So the Game Capture Neo only goes up to 1080. So I'm like, all right, we're trying to move forward. I understand you want to be price conscious, price conscious. Everyone that's looking for gear. The Stream Deck Neo, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 buttons. Come on, I got 32 on the XL, and I'm still running out of pages. And the Wave Neo, it seems very lateral. Again, I think it's I understand, I guess, from a marketing perspective, trying to open up the user base, trying to present more products to individuals. I personally don't like the look and design of them, but again, that's just me, right? I don't like the curved look and I don't like that look. But again, from an aesthetic perspective, it's not for me. But I guess it's for a particular individual or for a particular consumer who is just getting into this. They're seeing all of the excitement around content creation and don't necessarily want to spend 4 figures on a piece of equipment, but only want to spend 2 or 3 figures on a piece of equipment just so they can at least be in the game, so they can look better on Zoom, so they can show up and sound better on Zoom, so they can have lights that allow to project. So I understand that from a marketing perspective, but again, I'm being bougie. We got the 4K stuff, and we want to see that next iteration. We want to see them continuing to progress and get higher and get better, as opposed to getting wider. That's me.
I thought
never get
that was gonna be your
Elgato
take.
gear.
I knew out of all the people in my life, James was gonna hate this. And when I saw this, and I was like, dang, a lot of people are gonna be able to finally get cameras. I was like, everyone's gonna love this except James.
Man, come on. Yeah, you that's I don't know if that's good or bad, but you know I'm just highfalutin.
It does have
I'm
Apple
highfalutin,
aesthetic.
boy.
It does.
It's a Macintosh.
Yeah, but the old Apple aesthetic, not even new aluminum, or like Johnny Ive used to say, the aluminium. You know, it doesn't even have that aesthetic to it. I miss Johnny Ive.
That aluminium.
Aluminium. This has
but I think too. I don't know. I think tech equipment is getting out of hand expensive, like too expensive, like to the point where forget, like, I'm a tech reviewer, so I think I can be justified in like splurging, and it's still too expensive. And so I feel like and personally, just I've been running into a lot of people in like my personal community that also feel like equipment's just too freaking expensive. And so I feel like I feel how you feel exactly about what I'm looking at with Neo. I think what I'm trying to decide in my mind is knowing the price, which, if I'm not mistaken, it's like $89, right? Just for like the
$89 for the Wave Neo,
mic, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So it's like, is with that price, do I still feel like this? I feel like for that price, this looks. If you compare the other products at that price, this is probably better designed than all of them. I get what you're saying about like why it wouldn't fit for like an expert user just based on look and quality. But if you're comparing $80 microphones and we're doing reviews, this probably looks the best.
I mean, this is like $89, same price as like the Audio Technica or I think Samsung mics, dynamic mics. So
Samsung
I guess
QT, the old QT,
the QT, yeah.
I'm flashing back with that. I mean, I would go where I was looking for my old my Lewitt, my Lewitt 422s. It's pretty. It's pretty. It's probably functional as well. What's up? I see Chris Stone in the building. He said, agree on the price. People will speak with their wallets. It's true. I position myself as a coach. I position myself as someone who, as a trusted advisor, I probably would not recommend these first, right? Unless we start getting into where budget is a requirement, budget is a concern. I'm still going to go with, I'm a Shure guy. I'm still going to go with a Shure. I'm still going to go with probably a Lewitt. I'm still going to go with I'm still going to go in that realm because that's just where I live. And I forgot I was talking with someone not too long ago, and I had started with going with at least 3 or 4 options. So I'm having a consulting session with you, Lloyd, and you want a microphone. I'm gonna say check out Rode, check out Shure, check out Lewitt, check out all these. But no, I'm gonna start just saying, start here. Does this meet your needs? Does this meet your budget? Does this meet your requirements? And if not, then we start going down the list. This is probably gonna be last on the list. I'm sorry. I'd rather go with the mic you've got right now.
Yeah, but let me ask you then. I feel like though it's more like if you look at like what the image you're sharing right now on your screen, where you got the Elgato Wave low profile boom arm and this cheaper microphone. I feel like the benefit that Elgato has to some of these other people is their ecosystem is just so crazy. So even this is like, I'm using the Elgato low profile mic, this Elgato microphone. I'm using the Elgato Facecam Pro. I have so many Elgato products that just easily work. I got face like panels. It just works together so easily and cohesively. Pay $10 more for a better product, but then it doesn't work with my whole ecosystem, which is what it feels like they're selling. I don't know if that's worth it, but I get what you're saying though.
I agree. I do.
No, that's
right. I can agree to agree. I can agree to agree. Let me put
you know what this is better than?
What's that?
This is better than those mics that are taking over TikTok Shop and Amazon. The lapel mics that everyone buys and they're like, wait, hold up. Yeah, I got some too. And it's like at times they do work, but then also like one thing I didn't know enough about when I was first shopping for mics and learning about mics was like your just natural voice levels and how that can change which mic you should use or what equipment you should use with it. Because when I first got this Shure mic, it sounded great, but I sounded terrible on it because I needed a cloud lifter thing amp to go with it, even though I had a Rodecaster. It just didn't sound right until I added that next element into it too.
You need that extra bit of gain in there, brother. You need that clean gain. You gotta do that. See, you gotta do that.
Yes, I needed a tech form console. That's right.
Well, you know, I know prices have gone up, but you can still book a consultancy. I'm just saying, you know, Mama always wants.
James, is that the new Shure? The new Shure SM7B that you're using?
Yes, sir. SM7DB. Oh, okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. With the custom thingy thing.
Listen, everything. Hold on. Y'all don't see the mic.
So, that's how you step in. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on. You know, let me. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in. Y'all don't need to. Y'all need to see the mic. You know, let me take these tickers down. God, Jugga, you see it. I am the brand, y'all. Man got his own custom mic plate down at the bottom. Shouts out to micplates.com, which is where I got it. So y'all go get you one as well. Okay. I'm done stunting on
them. We'll let James get to
that one. I know, right? So with that one, you don't need a amp. So you're just plugging it straight into your mixer and then to your computer?
Correct. Yeah, it's going straight into my Rodecaster Pro 2.
Okay.
And yeah, all of the gain, all of the clean gain is actually directly from the microphone. It's I do notice a twinge of difference versus the SM7B versus the DB, but again, I've got the big bottom. I've got the all of the noise gate and things like that kind of tuned to my voice and how I like it to be. Hopefully, folks like it, but else, you know, I can tune it as well. But I've got it tuned to kind of the ambiance that I want, but directly from the mic into the Rodecaster.
Got it. No, that's cool. I like it.
Come on now. No, I'm not showing. We showing out. We're not showing off. We showing out. I'm sorry.
Educated people.
I'm trying to put y'all on. Hold on. I'm gonna put it up here too, so y'all can go get.
I didn't even know they had mic plates.
Man, the shots out.
Hey, well, actually, I don't know if you know this, but somebody just told me this. But the mic you're using, the MV7, they're releasing a new version of that this week. Did you see that?
I did. I try to ignore what Shure is doing.
Same.
Yeah.
Bro, I can't
Oh
even
my
follow the
God.
Instagram page. It's toxic, man.
Man,
Y'all can't
AppSumo
get the
already
plates
got
anymore.
me.
Just so you know, look like Mike Places has shut down.
Oh, has it?
We made some waves and managed to shake up the podcast scene. I'm sad that I have to close this chapter. I began working on larger products and no longer have time required to dedicate. Wow.
Wow.
Oh, this was
Y'all
a
missed
small
out.
business type of
Y'all
thing.
missed out. See, y'all weren't supporting my man Chaz.
Dang.
Oh well. Sorry. Now you got to go to a reporter store, right, and get it shipped all the way from the UK and pay twice as much and shipping to get your pop filters and things like that. This man was local to the US. All right.
Oh, American made.
That's wild. So crazy.
Let's see here. Butter in the ears. Appreciate that, brother Stone, man. That's a good man too. I had him on Code and Commentary. I guess I got to get Mr. George over there as well, so we can break some things down. Walter's been over there. He's saying the MV7 Plus is the best USB mic he has ever used.
Wow. That is high
That
praise. That's a high bar.
From him.
Like,
That's also a
Chris,
quality review. Dr.
yeah,
Stone.
like Chris, why is that though? Like what's like the core difference other than like USB-C and like that's my favorite microphone too, just like the MV7 line period. I like it more than the SM7B, but I'm just curious like why you're saying that.
Chris, come on now. You got keys to the front door too. We only gonna be here for a little bit longer. We're gonna bring this plane in if you want to come on camera. If you camera ready. Well, he used to work at Sony, so he always camera ready. Yeah. He always
Oh
camera
man, they
ready.
got the best.
Let me see here. Let me see these comments while we get that. Gainer, you trying to break our ears? You must be coming in. You got
oh no, I think it was that was probably when you touched the
yeah.
Yes, the Elgato stuff is available at Target. I mean, see, that's no shade though. I mean, again, it's all good to be available at Target, but yeah, you can buy it at Target. And again, I'm a B&H type of, I'm a Adorama kind of dude, and it makes sense. It from a marketing and a business perspective to have this stuff available, it makes sense. So again, I'm not giving them any hard time. I'm actually going to probably reach out and try to see if I can get some gear to maybe give away to people in the community and bless some folks. But
you go bless them after that.
I would never in my entire life.
Maybe I'll cut that part out. I'm gonna cut that part off. Whatever is live on the internet never goes away. I'm gonna delete that. That's not going in my.
Find some bots to go
Opus clip.
dig this footage up.
Yeah. Were there any brands at NAB that you didn't know about that you discovered for the first time, or was it mainly that like you just like saw lots of brands that you already knew?
There were more brands from overseas there that had comparable types of products, and there was one specifically, and I can't recall the name, but the bags, and I'm a bag fiend. But they reminded me, and they looked very similar to Peak Design, right? Same type of quality, same type of capacity and things like that. But there was one particular brand, and I got their card. But so I saw them, I met them. I saw more light companies. So not just your Apertures, not just your Nanlights, not just your Godox, but I saw other different, because again, this mainly is around folks that are in larger scale video production. Though this is TV stuff. This is ABC, NBC. This is Tyler Perry. Right? This is the folks that use that kind of thing. So there was a lot more switchers and mixers and lighting companies and dollies and jips and all that stuff, which I wasn't completely aware of. So I'm glad to have been there to pick up their business cards and see if we can do some things down the road. But I can't recall of anyone specifically off the top of my head. But those were some of the industries and some of the categories that I saw. Again, the lights, the bags, because I'm a bag guy. But let's see. Chris is saying versatility. Software allows for noise reduction, digital popper stopper for USB next level. Yeah, so being able to do all of the things via software is pretty cool. Yeah, that is pretty cool.
So Chris, I'm gonna throw this at you, and I want to see what you think. I convince I personally, unlike Chris, I personally prefer USB to XLR. I feel like if the if the Shure MV7 had the same plug for your USB that the SM7B has, so that you don't see any cables, where you could just like mount it and then you can't like see a cable coming from it, I think the SM7B would be done. Because I don't think for most people, the difference in like the quality for like most of the average consumers, the difference of the quality between the MV7 and SM7B is really not that drastic for the average person. I think stylistically, people just like how the SM7B looks. But if they had it like mounted like correctly and you could like plug in your cable without it being seen, that would be,
well, you know,
that would be a wrap.
You got to remember
got
too, the
both.
SM7B. That's the old Michael Jackson mic. Right?
It's a Thriller mic.
That's the Thriller mic. So we old school with this one. So we gonna rock with the SM7. But I hear you on that as well. And just
Yeah.
again, it's back to that aesthetic piece, right? Back to that aesthetic piece. And but having XLR and having USB is a huge value, especially for run and go, on the go types of things, or being able to do remote sessions, remote shots. So I like that. Don't I have one? Oh, I do. Maybe I'll give that away too. There you go. Hey.
Oh.
I compare the Plus to the MV7. Sound quality of the Plus is noticeably better. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Okay, sure.
I was not expecting that.
No, man, Shure is the truth. Shouts out to Laura Davison. Shouts out to Mario Ponce.
Yeah.
Saw them. Shure had a nice presence at NAB as well, doing some demonstrations. I gotta do my review on my move bike. They were supposed to send it to me, and they apologized profusely. So he gave it to me while I was physically there. The Move Mic 2 receiver kit, the whole kit. So I've got the
okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I when you do your review, I can't wait to see just how you think they compare to some of the other like mobile mics like DJI or Rode. I feel like they look way better, in my opinion. Just in terms stylistically, they look really good. So I can't wait to see your review on that.
I will do one. Chris, send me the link, because I know he and Jim Fuse, probably on the Dealcasters, already did a review speaking specifically of that. Shoot me the link, man, in chat, and I'll put it on the screen. Look there, put a comment right there. Comparison videos on the Dealcasters YouTube. Right? Yeah, he's true. Yeah, he definitely has that. I should probably make him a authorized user to put links in the chat.
Hey,
I trust.
This is a great time for reviewing those type of mics, because like I mentioned before, like a lot of creators who are getting those, like I'm calling them just TikTok mics now, because I see them all over TikTok shop. But getting them and realizing it's a great place to start, but when you start getting deeper into it, and when you're able to afford it, put it in the budget, it's good to start stepping up to the next level. Because I went to Invest Fest last year and had the Rode Wireless Go mic. And it picked up everything, but you could easily tell like it was able to isolate, like hone in on the actual voice, and it was actually very powerful. Like I didn't have to get as close to people as I thought. But it's just a huge difference between the $20 mics and these ones that are like low over 100. So I only know about the Rode from experience myself, and then also with other companies. So very curious about what Shure's got going on, and these others. So I'm gonna check that out, Chris. I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah, and Lloyd, I'm gonna give you these. I apologize here online, man. Not many people know about the interview chat or take advantage of it. I'm looking down over here, and I'm seeing Lloyd over here putting all these comments and all these links in the interview chat. I said, "Go ahead, but I didn't." Okay, I apologize, but I
don't have access to the other chat. Oh, my fault. I get what you're saying now.
I'm like, okay, this man is actually utilizing the technology, and I'm like, not many folks actually use that. I was like, okay, brother, I appreciate you on that.
That's so funny.
Stuart, we see you, man. Appreciate you. Listen, we were talking about Rode. They came out with their interview mic. Is it Interview Plus or Interview 2? Hold on. And then Interview Pro. That's what it was. Put that
what light do you use?
I was actually gifted the Lume Cube. Well, I won't flash at the camera,
Nice.
but
Yeah.
Lume Cube. It's actually really nice. I
Okay.
actually really love it. So they do a lot with um office supplies and for desk and
Yeah.
stuff, but they do have a few things for content creators as well. Actually, I need to reach out to them. This is a good reminder. Yeah, Lume Cube. They just make, I think, affordable but good quality products.
Yeah.
I've been happy with them so far.
Okay, bet. I rock with that.
Yeah, I actually got a few Lume products. They're in the closet, but they got some like other ones that are going to stand on your desk, so they're actually good for when you're creating content. They're actually very bright. You could change the type of lightness, the brightness, the color, and everything as well. Yeah. Oh, yep, James.
Wow.
James always read it.
Oh, I'm gonna listen. Come
James
on now,
always read
I'm
it.
gonna have it. Multitasking. I'm like
Yeah.
the Wizard of Oz behind the curtain. We can do these
Right.
things.
Oh, they've actually added some new. Oh, you know what? Okay, so when I was got it when I was in the creator program, and that's 2 years ago. I keep forgetting. It's been 2 years. So yeah, they've added a lot more newer products that are more for creators. So yeah, I honestly would highly recommend it. This morning I was actually thinking I need to check it out for when I'm doing man on the street content with my Sony camera. I learned last time I did something that, oh man, like not all lighting's good lighting, so I gotta step my game up.
Man, say that one more time for the people in the back of the room who probably didn't hear that.
Man, you got to make sure you've invested. You know what it was? What sucked was I was inside of a building, and I've been created content inside other buildings plenty of times, but this one in particular, like it had a certain mood lighting, which felt good, but was not good for video quality. And then also when you're like, black people, we come in all different shades, and not every shade. You gotta. I've been trying to change like the cameras, different features to capture people. Then I look too dark, and then they look too bright. It's just a lot going on. So if I had some more proper lighting that was also easy to move around with, I would have been straight.
All right, now I'm not going to talk bad about you because I'm sure you know you got your exposure triangle down, right? You know you understand about f-stops and
You know what?
white balance. Okay,
I know how to
I don't want to
press
put you out there. I'm
record.
just going to put that out there.
I'll put it out there. So my specialty comes when it comes to like creating content, like what is the content, what's the mission, what's the story, the strategy. And when it comes to setup, I lean on people like James and Lloyd, my guy CL, who helps a lot with like some back end stuff. Yeah, there's different skill sets that exist and knowledge that exists as well, or that everyone has, and it's important to know what your strengths and skill points are, especially when building a team. Because yeah, I'm going to learn about what you call it, the F points and triangle.
Come on, Lord. See,
What you call it?
I shouldn't have even opened up that
Hey,
that worm of
I'm
cans.
gonna go look it up. I'm gonna go check your channel out so I can learn some of that stuff. But yeah, nope.
I shouldn't have
don't know
even
anything
opened up
about
that box of Pandora because we're not going to do you like that. Here is that link. Here is that video from Chris Stone, Jim Fuse, the Dealcasters. The MV7 Plus, enhance your audio with one mic, no complex setup. I will make sure there's a link in the description, and I will ensure from now on that Mr. Chris Stone is a authorized, able user to put links in the stream because we trust him. He's family.
He's not blocked anymore.
Now he's still blocked right now, but he won't be blocked in about 15 minutes. It won't be 15
I
minutes.
was actually just I pulled up his review on the MVX2U from Shure, which I guess is a XLR adapter that allows you to use an XLR mic like the one Walter's using directly into your computer without a mixer, which looks very, very dope. I hate mixers. I actually just got rid of my Rodecaster Pro 2. And so I think like we need more USB stuff and more simple stuff for people like me. I'm more like Walt. Like I'm not big into like technical setups, lots of lights, but just hit record. We'll fix it on the next video.
I tell you what, I'm gonna make you an offer specifically, Lloyd. If you tell me that you had that meeting with Neil,
Headliner,
I'll send you that product.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Well, I have a meeting with Neil scheduled already.
I know. He told
Mr.
me
Headliner, I'm available.
Oh, you said
Friday.
after. I thought you said schedule it. Got it.
When the meeting happens, let me know. Well, he'll probably let me know too. And I want to know if you feel that excitement about the functionality he's going to tell you about. Again, I'm talking in parables here, like I'm reading the Bible, but I want to know if it grabs you the same way, and then I'll ship you that, because I got a couple of those in the closet.
Oh, that's awesome, man. I appreciate it, man.
That's what we do.
Yeah,
man.
we should start doing more tech swaps. More. I used to do that in LA a lot. Like if I got a new piece and someone else got a new piece, we'd swap so that we could like review both pieces and stuff, so that you're not just having to buy new equipment all the time. But yeah, I appreciate
that UPS sponsorship.
Yeah,
we're gonna do that. Listen, man, let's bring this plane in. Appreciate everyone for chiming in. This is what we do, right? Every Saturday, 10:30 a.m. Pacific time, but unfortunately these gentlemen are now East Coast, so it's afternoon, and they getting ready to go get something to eat. But Technologist Forum, bringing conversations from a different perspective, having engagement with you, the community, and really opening it up to Q&A, so we can help you to help us to help you. Did that make sense? I need another cup of coffee. I don't know what I said. I don't know what I said.
We can ask AI if it made sense.
That's what we can do. I'm gonna put that prompt in Perplexity, and I'm gonna tell it to clean up my English. Walt, what you getting into, man? Tell the folks where they can find you.
Oh man, you can find me on all the platforms. It's the Great Walt, ITS the Great Walt. I've been focusing a lot of time on YouTube lately, looking to build out my channel, Boss Locks Media. And of course, I'm always playing on LinkedIn, just testing out different content theories and stuff like that. Walter Gator II. Find me everywhere.
I'm glad you didn't say anything crazy, because we are actually streaming on LinkedIn right now.
I'll always have
shout out to Walt. Your post on LinkedIn this morning was really, really good. I think you should talk about that, if you don't mind, about the experiment that you're doing.
Okay. With the video
put them on blast real quick.
Yeah. This is like I have like inception experiments, really. So LinkedIn, for those who don't know, they launched a video feed, right? And it's in beta. And this week I learned that not everyone has the video feed yet on the mobile apps. And this is like what LinkedIn does, especially with beta, is they'll roll features out slowly across users. Like during the creator program, when a lot of us had access to certain tools, like they didn't just give it to everyone in that yet. They gave it to people in blocks. So I put out a poll just because I'm curious about how many people already have the video feed and who don't. And with that, I want to just share like my observations, because I've been on there every day, just swiping through, just to really study what they're doing and what they're not doing, and what I see that's changed each time I've been on there. It's really fascinating, especially like today, as the time we're recording this, like later on, they're going to be voting on whether or not TikTok's going to be banned, in addition to a bunch of other things as well. But I just been learning just like what you would think the video feed is versus what it isn't, who I've been seeing. So like, you have it up there, but just to get into it, like I've only seen one person that I follow show up in the video feed, and that's Cher Jones. Her videos are incredible. But what's interesting about that, right? Cher. Oh yeah, you seen Cher?
Yep. She's the only person I know that I see in there.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's incredible. And I know Cher isn't well, I won't put her business out there, but she's just posting to post. Like she has a lot of digital things she's doing, but it's not like she has like a secret access for this particular thing. That's very interesting. But yeah, this is like, I think LinkedIn's first true like discoverability feature that's not tied to liking and commenting on other people's posts and your connection, seeing
this is where creator mode should have been.
Yeah.
This is them actually realizing that they dropped the ball on creator mode and didn't give any real context. And so when I get it as well, I'm gonna blow it up. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
You know what's interesting? I think like, and I don't know this to be certain, but like just because certain people I've seen and I know they're not in some special invite thing, I think it's good to just start posting now. That's what I've been doing this week, the past 2 weeks, and posting video content a lot more than I usually would in LinkedIn. I don't know if it's going to show up in the feed or not, but just putting it in the platform now as opposed to later. Because another thing that LinkedIn did, they had an interview with I think he's like the editor in chief or something like that at Entrepreneur magazine, but they were talking about how they're now making sure their algorithm is bringing up content that was posted like a longer time ago. And I guess generally you would only see content for like 2 weeks in the feed, and now they're trying to bring stuff from like 6 months, a year back. So what that tells me is like that, in addition with this video feed, and also just knowing that all these platforms need content, and especially when it comes to video, like if they don't have tons of content to feed people, they're going to lose attention. So it's good to just go ahead and flood, the platform with good content, so that when they're looking for more videos to send to people, it's like your content's going to be in that pool. Because right now, one thing that I've noticed, that there was like a day where I saw the same post from the day prior as well. Now it's still in beta and it says that on the platform, but that just shows me, okay, they're at the very beginnings of having their algorithm pull content. So
See if I got it.
And one thing I want to add too is I don't have any like real fact knowledge, but my understanding is if you post content and you don't have access to the feed, that content will still be shown in the feed. I think there's lots of people. I think Cher is a good example of someone that I don't think has access to the feed, if I'm mistaken, but her content continues to pop up on mine and yours. And so to your point, just about like putting out content, at the very least, it's still going to be shown to people. And when they release it to more people, your content will already be in the system. So there's only upside.
Dope.
It doesn't hurt. That is so crazy that she's the one person that we both follow and the one person that we do see in that. Like, what?
Yeah.
Out to share.
Yeah, facts. Her content's always very, very good.
So I tell you what, next week I'm gonna speak it into existence. Next week when we all have access to it, right, to the feed. I want to ask you guys a question then, not now, but I want you to marinate on this. For LinkedIn, does it make more sense posting to your personal profile or posting to like on a work page? Because I stream everything to my org page, Hicks New Media org page on LinkedIn, as opposed to my personal profile. And
I got an answer for you now.
I know you do. I want you to sit on that. I want you to let that marinate. Let that marinate.
My answer is going to disagree with Walt's, I'm sure. Ooh. So we're going to have to be back here next week.
Right. No, definitely. So I want to put that out there in the environment there, so y'all can think about that in the community as well. Lloyd, tell the folks where they can find you, brother.
Yeah, so you can find me at Lloyd, not George, on all social media platforms, and Lloyd George on LinkedIn. I am excited to have been here, and I'm spending this weekend learning how to use Adobe Premiere Pro. So this was like a good break that I needed to mentally like take my mind off of it. Because if you're doing it for the first time, it's actually pretty frustrating. So yeah, that's what I'll be doing this weekend.
Wow.
Welcome to the club,
man. That's a lot of work. But okay.
I know.
Okay. You leveling up for sure then. No, I can't fault anyone for want to learn Final Cut or Adobe or I've been heads down in scenery.video. But just because I met them, I physically met them at NAB. I'd already been aware of them, but it's a web-enabled, web-based collaborative video editing platform.
Oh, this is hard.
So that's who I've been using kind of extensively, as opposed to anything else, just to wrap my head around that. But yeah, you cannot go wrong with.
But before you go, just give me your gut reaction, just like 10 seconds. Just like, what do you think about it? Because I like the idea of like web-based editing better personally. There's actually another tool I tried, but it wasn't fully there yet. But what's your gut reaction?
They iterate fast. So in the 6 months or so that I've been using them, when continuing updates and continuing platform improvements, the collaborative piece is what I really like. The fact that I can share a project with folks on a team and have Lloyd go in there and make some edits, and Walt go in there and make some edits, and I can see them instantaneously. I can see them in real time. That right there is really, really critical, really key. Yeah. I also love the fact that they directly integrate with my encoder, right? I can take this from Ecamm, shoot it over to scenery.video, utilize an AI assistant, and say, grab the top 5 compelling questions and answers from the session and make a sizzle reel. That right there is really cool. right? I can tell it to actually create a sizzle reel, and that's one of the options within the piece of content. And I can have it form 1x1, 9x16, 16x9, whatever the case may be, download it and ship it off to whatever platform. That's cool. I'm always
Yeah.
looking for
And
things
you
to
could
eliminate
share.
steps in workflow. Yes.
So you won't need frame.io theoretically, because you could just send them a link like to your video
That's it.
file. But that's
That's
really,
it.
really cool.
The future is here, but we this the Jetsons, brother. We here. So that's
One
what I
other
like.
thing I want to say before you sign off, James, I have to give you your flowers and all that stuff because you've been talking about this. Is just another example of this, right? Scenery. I've seen this other creator who's very big. We all know, and I'm pretty sure they were just talking about scenery, and it's just like, yo, James been having these conversations with people
Early.
and all this stuff. So it's not even like a you versus them type of thing. It's just more so like, yo, you've just been putting people on to stuff before it becomes trendy or popular and stuff
Yeah.
too. So man, James, you on it. You are the plug for real.
Appreciate you,
Shout out
brother.
to you, James.
I appreciate y'all. We doing this together, right? And there's no crab in the barrel situation here. We all trying to rise and be great together. So why not? Why not bring folks that I believe who are passionate about this as well, who are serving communities, who are doing the good thing. Let's do it together. So with that being said, y'all, appreciate you. If you found value in this session, let me know. If you did not find value in this session, let me know as well. Right, so we can continue to iterate, so we continue to get better. Every Saturday, 10:30 a.m. Pacific time, this is what we do. It's called the Technologist Forum. We out, y'all.